So the Nike ReactX Rejuven8 Khaki, and this was released in 2025 and came out in the UK in the last couple of days in March, and it's made as a recovery shoe, hence why it's got ReactX in there. So with the details, it comes in a khaki colorway, and this has, like I said, a ReactX midsole, and I think the ReactX sits inside here, so this fused overlay for the outsole is probably got the, in my opinion, the ReactX sitting underneath there, and then this is fused on top, and the upper is kind of made up of one shell or one material that you can sort of see here, which I feel is more of the sort of rubber sort of side of the piece, and I don't think the upper is ReactX. I also like the fact that it's got sort of breathable holes, which sometimes you don't see in these foam type footwears, and I think you need them because they do run hot after a while, especially with this sort of rubber material. Like I mentioned earlier, the foam is basically made of upper, and I think the lower half is got this nice sort of outsole and then ReactX sitting in between. And the price for these was £65. So with the comfort and sizing, they're on the soft to medium side. So if you ever sort of worn a ReactX type footwear before, it feels much like a Kobe 8. That's what I can sort of compare it to in terms of the softness and the sort of reaction that you get, which is similar to, I suppose, a New Balance Fuel Cell as well. And overall, it's a nice sort of squishy feeling on foot. Not too squishy, still got a little bit of cushioning, but not too soft, where it's like, where you like feeling sort of fatigue. It's kind of slightly on the middle side. I also think you can sit quite sort of low to the ground compared to, say, a foam runner or a Crocs. And also no wearing time with these. I think they're pretty good to go out of the box. It's quite sort of flexible. The upper is a bit rubbery, this upper material, but the ReactX feels nice. And I think you might get a little bit of tension point here in terms of sort of aggravation, but it's not so bad. I'm just sort of foreseeing maybe that might be an issue for some people, to get your foot in there and sort of sit in there nicely. But overall, they're quite easy to sort of slip on and off. And true to size on these, I'm afraid it's like, they're going whole sizes, so I still sort of recommend going true to size and just sort of wear them in, and they should get looser over time, and they're sort of most sort of foam type shoes do anyway. And I think it's got a really good grip, in my opinion. This works well. You get that sort of sticky, tacky sort of feel on it, and yeah, it does the job. And because they've used a fused outsole, this is much better than obviously the rubber that you get here, and much better than a foam runner in terms of the grip. So with the look and style, it's got a simple colorway. I prefer this one compared to the black one because it feels less shiny and looks quite, I suppose, understated and under the radar. I'm not a fan of the way it looks from top down view. Me personally, it just feels a bit sort of flat and a bit kind of wide and more Crocs like, I suppose. But I like the feel of it overall, and it's also from Nike. We've seen similar types of foam footwear before, but this one's probably their best one so far, I think. And it's a good sort of spring summertime piece of footwear in my opinion. I think it works well as a spring summer shoe because of the air units in there, and ventilation, sorry. And it's a good casual wear sneaker, so if you're like looking for something to wear casually, this is a really good one. It got that more sort of sporty look to it, so I'm really be sort of wearing them smart casual. And I like the fact that they're slip-on. So with the final thoughts, I like the breathability on there, so look, the holes on there is nice, especially because of the rubber material. And also the ReactX, it does feel nice on foot, and like I said, it's quite sort of squishy but also supportive. And the ReactX provides a nice sort of comfort overall, so I prefer these to, say, wearing a pair of Crocs. And in terms of cons, I guess the silhouette isn't for everyone, and I include myself in that. And I think sizing, being whole sizes, that could also be an issue for some. So with the ratings, I'm going to give the look of style 4. I still prefer the Yeezy foam runner the way that looks, and that's still to me the better piece of footwear. And with the comfort, I'm going to give it a 4. Again, it's personal preference, but it's probably slightly too on the softer side for me personally. And again, same thing really. I prefer the foam runner being slightly more on the sort of firmer side. And the quality I'm going to go for, I think overall the upper is pretty much made of sort of more solid firm rubber versus say a foam runner, which I think has slightly more softer materials. And the pricing I'm going to go with 5. For £65, you can't go wrong. I think they've done a good job of this particular clog, and that's why overall I'm going to give the score a 4. I think it's a solid entry from Nike, and they've done a good job with this, considering they've released other pieces of footwear. This is still a nice job really, in my opinion, and does work well.